Yes. Well, hello. My name is Ashton, and welcome to my awkward intro of my first ever playthrough of. Well, it's not my first, but this is gonna be my first ever recorded playthrough, so this is pretty exciting for me. So, let's get right into this. But before we actually start, the reason why I'm starting off with Fire Emblem 6 is because I'm actually like a huge lover of Roy. I don't know. I guess because sort of Melee days was when I first ever found out about him. He was in Smash and all that with Marth, but Marth really stole the spotlight because it gave Roy the wet noodle, but it's fine. And if you hear me sniffling a lot, that's because I'm a little sick at the moment, but I'm feeling a hell of a lot better, and I really want to get this started. So, all right, let's jump right into this. But yeah, Fire Emblem 6 has a great story. It's basically the sequel to 7, which is it was the first Fire Emblem game that ever came out in North America. It's a shame they never transported 6 over because this is a direct sequel to it. It has Roy. Fire Emblem 7 has Roy's father in it, and you're gonna see a lot of characters in this one that you're gonna see in 7, which is a lot of fun because I remember when I first found out there's more games than 7 and 8 and the ones that came after in North America that didn't get released here. Oh my goodness, was I excited! So, all right, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get into this. So, we're gonna start a new game, and let's hopefully you guys enjoy this. So, men and dragons once lived in harmony on this land. However, that harmony was broken when the men suddenly started to invade. In a great war known as the Scouring, both sides fought over control of the continent. The laws of nature were twisted from the vast amounts of power that were released. The dragons were defeated and disappeared from the face of the continent. Mankind then began to spread its forces throughout to populate the land. And now, 1,000 years later, the people of the continent of Alib have been spreading technology and civilization. For some time now, after the dragons had been defeated in the Scouring, in the west resides the kingdom of Utria, which has the highest level of civilization in Alib. Oh, the reading is wonderful. The kingdom of Bern, with a powerful military and a practical and pragmatic attitude about life, is located in the east. They're basically your warmongering, they basically want war. They're all about fighting and stuff, and they have a huge, powerful army, and they like to flex on them. Flexed! These are the two strongest nations in Alib, and the lesser nations are located between. So basically, Utria is sort of like Canada. It's not quite America, it's like Canada. And then Bern would basically be like Russia. Yeah, Bern basically Russia, and then the king of Bern's basically Putin. Yeah, and then I would say Trudeau is that's about right. That's about right. There is the Lycian Alliance, which is under joint relationship of various marquises. Or Marcuses, not marquises. Marcuses. Goodness gracious, that's bad. Sorry. But yeah, so I guess this would technically be America, since we're gonna roll in, we're gonna kick some butt. The people of the Knights Union of Ilia are hard at work cultivating the snowy wastelands in the north. I don't really know what Ilia would be. I don't know. Maybe if Antarctica had people, I guess that's what it would be. Oh, wait. Maybe like the Eskimos. They told me the Eskimos. In Sakai live various clans. In Sakai live various clans which ride through the plains on horseback. This would be the Native Americans if they didn't get wrecked by us when we invaded their lands. Although there were occasional clashes between nation-states, there was a general sense of balance of power and peace in the league. However, that balance was subtly disrupted. Dun 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 dun! Putin's being a jerk. Surprise, surprise. King Zephiel, ruler of the kingdom of Bern, has sent his forces out to conquer the rest of Alib. Byrne's forces invaded Sakei and Ilia and mercilessly massacred all those who stood against them. Oh yeah, I stand corrected. Byrne is actually America. Alright. Yeah, we're actually the settlers. We basically went in and took all their land. Correction. And now Byrne has shown signs of invading the Lycia Alliance. A youth named Roy was in Lycia's largest territory, Ostia. He was sent as a transfer student to train to become the Marquess of Foray. However, Eliwood, who has fallen ill, has sent for Roy to return home. Just around that time, Lilina, the daughter of Hector, had traveled to Lycia to pay her respects to Eliwood. After getting the message, Roy hurried back home, taking with him his loyal knights and Boris, a knight from Ostia, responsible for Lilina's safety. The story begins when Roy reached an area on the outskirts of Foray. And so it begins, our wonderful journey. Chapter 1, Dawn of Destiny. Destiny shall not be avoided, my dudes. Boss, the residents of the castle have hidden themselves inside. Oh, hey, even Eliwood, the greatest knight in Lycia, can't beat an Illins, eh? Haha, you were right when you said there wouldn't be any soldiers around here because they are getting ready to take on Byrne. Of course, who do you think I am? But you never know when reinforcements are going to come. Alright, kill off the guys in the castle while we still got time. Then the treasure is all ours. Okay, I don't know about the whole voice actor thing. I'm probably just gonna read this off unless somebody actually watches the video and decides they actually want me to voice act everything. Then I'll do it, I guess. Why not? Hee, castles ain't the only places with treasure. Let's go ransack the villages and get some loot. Ooh boy, that village got dropped straight on their neck. So yeah, that's kind of a mechanic in this game that you'll see, and I'll talk about that. Oh god damn it, Master Eliwood, the bandits from Home Mountain are attacking us. I see. Blast. If I weren't in this state, I would teach them a lesson. Oh my god, it's contagious. I can't stop. I'm not doing the girl voice. Mr. Eliwood, Lilina, you must hide somewhere. This castle is going to become a battlefield. No, sir, I will fight too. Don't be ridiculous. If something happened to you, I wouldn't know what to say. To Hector. To my father, but it's going to be alright. Roy should be almost here by now, so if we can hold our own until then, we can drive off these bandits. Merlinus, I want you to send a messenger to Roy informing him of this. Attack immediately. Yes, sir. Look at all these bandits. Goons. These goons coming out. Oh, it's Lance. What's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry? Master Roy, bandits have appeared and are attacking the castle as we speak. What? Is Lord Eliwood safe? He's inside defending against the bandits' attack. Wow, dude, this voice acting is contagious. You just want to do it. But I don't know how long he can last with his illness. Excuse me, Lance, is it? Is Lady Lilina safe? Are you from Ostia? Lady Lilina is in the castle. She should be alright. As long as Lord Eliwood is with her, but he can't last forever. No, I shouldn't have let Lilina go to the castle before me. Lord Roy, regret won't solve anything. We must recapture the castle. Walt is right, we must hurry. Yeah, you're right. Alright, let's go. We're going to save those trapped in the castle. Alright, so this is basically the battlefield, and it's basically how the game works. So, Fire Emblem series is basically a grid-based, turn-based strategy or RPG. Excuse me. And so, basically, red is bad, blue is good, Blood Gang gonna die, Crips, stay crippin', my dudes. So this is our main hero, aka the Lord. The Lord is basically an extremely important character in battle. Not that they're always extremely powerful, it's just that if they die, you get a game over. And here is another staple of the series, which is called Jagan. Now, a Jagan is not a name of the class. The name of this class would actually be the Paladin. Though Jagan is a reference to the original first ever Fire Emblem, where there is a character in there. His name is Jagan, and he's what you would call a pre-promote. A pre-promote is a unit that's already promoted. You don't have to do anything special. They're already one of the baddest dudes out there. So there is advantages and disadvantages of this. Most people will, I would say most people will say, don't use this guy. He's gonna suck up XP, which is what they use to level up people. But honestly, the game gives you this guy for a reason. He's here to help, so absolutely use him, and he's really not a bad character. And so I guess that's all for now, but here's another trope of the game. Alan and Lance, they would be your Cain and Abel, I guess, of the series. There's actually characters in one game named Cain and Abel, but they would be your Cain and Abel of the series. One cavalry unit is a power cav, the other one focuses more on speed and agility. So this is going to be a trope you're going to see throughout the game, and it's something the creators of the series like to use a lot. It's definitely a cool thing to have opposites, and then help each other balance them out. So it's really good. And so there is this wonderful thing in the series also called a weapon triangle, where swords beat axes, axes beat spears, and spears beat swords. So for instance, if I went against this guy with a spear, I'm going to attack him with a javelin, it's going to not have a good chance, because accuracy, the ACC, is the chance you're hit. It is a percentage rating, so it's a 50% chance you're going to hit him. Half the time you're going to hit, half the time you're going to miss. Now, as you can see, there's a red arrow pointing down next to me, and then a green arrow pointing up next to him, meaning he has the advantage. Now, let's try that again with a sword, and suddenly there's no chance I'm going to miss this guy. So, the weapon triangle is extremely important to remember when playing this game, and it really helps out, especially in situations where you are trying to outmaneuver the anemone, excuse me. So late at my house, it's the only time I ever get some peace and quiet is in the middle of the night. But yeah, so we're gonna start engaging the enemy. And basically how this run through is gonna work, I'm basically not going to use every single unit. So normally I would absolutely encourage you to use every single unit you come across, try them all. But for this one thing, for my first run through of this game on this channel, I'm gonna be a little picky about who I pick and choose. So actually normally I would highly recommend using these guys, especially using them in conjunction with each other. They balance each other out, and they will absolutely carry you throughout the game. Literally, no regrets, ifs, ands, ifs, or buts. Like, these guys are absolutely great units, and they help each other out, and they'll help carry you through the game. But I low-key want to make this sort of an interesting run, so I'm actually going to throw these guys out. So they're actually benched. They didn't make the cut. C team average. Sorry guys, maybe next time. But I will be using this guy named Boris. So a little introduction to Boris. I'll go look up growth rates later. I'll talk about growth rates in the next episode. But for now, these are his stats. He's a knight. Knights are units with low movement, but they have high defense. And they generally have a pretty good attack too. So these guys will basically be your walls, and they will basically stand in front of anything and take a hit very well. And Marcus is a paladin. He is wonderful. Look at those stats. 11 speed. He has ridiculous stats for this point in the game. So he can basically take on any unit, and you have nothing to worry about. So Walt is going to be your archer class unit. So archers are normally regarded as the worst class in the game, strictly because they are a 2-range unit only. They cannot attack in hand-to-hand combat. So if somebody gets in their face, they will not be able to retaliate. They just have to sit there and just take the damage. But I will be using him because I like Walt. I don't know. I like using him in conjunction with Roy. So I'm gonna be using him, and hopefully he turns out really well. He usually turns out really bad. So that's kind of a thing he has going for him, that he usually turns out really bad. Damn it! Reinforcements already, but they ain't getting to the castle so easy. And so here they come along charging on us. Again, weapon triangle coming in handy. just because he has a 38% chance doesn't mean he's not going to hit. It's just less likely. So, so let's say like 3 guys that all have 38% chance come at you. Exactly, 27, like I was talking about. 3 guys all come at you, 38% chance. That's basically over 100% chance. So at least one of them's going to hit you. So just because they all have 38% hit rate, it doesn't mean they're going to miss. One of them's going to hit you eventually. It's unavoidable. But luckily, thank God, Roy dodges them, because Roy, he's not the tankiest right now. He can take 2 hits, but I'd prefer him not to. So right here we have our Lord class. This is the main unit of the game, where the story's going to focus on them. And so Roy has alright stats. He has decent growth, but he tends to get strength screwed, and he tends to not have a lot of good strength growth when it comes to that. And usually he'll get screwed on it, and he won't get strength, and he won't level it. But hopefully, praying to God, I get a blessed Roy, so I can just roll through the end game. Alright, we're going to attack him, and then it's usually good to use your archers to weaken units for your frontliners, so that way they don't take damage when they engage in combat. And I'm now going to move Boris forward. Okay, in the Japanese version, his name is Balls. So I guess we'll just call it Balls, because I like saying Balls rather than Boris. So we're actually going to enter a turn here. I can charge him forward with Marcus, but I really want to hand over some XP to the other units. Sorry, I hit the speed up button. But I really want to hand over some XP to the other units. That way they can grow and hopefully catch up to Marcus in his stats. So, right now, this first chapter is not too hard. It's a very good introduction chapter. There's a 30% hit rate. So, it's a very good chapter. It's a good map. It gives you a chance to test out the units, and it really shows you, you know, the importance of the weapon triangle and everything, and how you should be using it. And it also shows you villages. It also shows you this guy, which I will talk about now. So bandits, there are 2 classes that are going to deal with this concept I'm about to talk about, which is the destruction of villages. So basically, bandits and another class called thieves, they usually are put on the map to put some pressure on you to move around and then get you to rush yourself to a certain point, and you know, create some kind of like tense situation. So if this bandit reaches this village, it is going to end up like this one here, where it's destroyed, and then whatever wonderful gift they had in there for you, you will no longer be able to get it. And so we really don't want that to happen, and so we're going to get over to that village and then kill whatever is left inside. So I'm going to get the leftover XP to Wolt. And Wolt just missed an 81, which is wow, dude. Please don't know I'm switching to this entire time. I'll just get the kill to Roy. It's fine. I'm actually, oops, sorry, speed up button again. I'm actually going to send Balls over here to get the village. Even though he's really low movement, I'm just going to send him to get it. And I will hand this kill over to Marcus. Goodbye, Archer. So another thing I want to talk about is I'm just a huge fan of the sprite art that they have in this game. I really like the old Game Boy Advance sprites. I'm not really huge on like the new Nintendo DS sprites and everything, and the 3D models. The 3D models are cool. It's really nice. I mean, I like it. I have nothing against it, absolutely. But I don't know, something about like the old 3D, not 3D, the old sprite animations. You can't help but love them. I really find them amazing, and they're really like beautiful to look at. Plus, anybody who's really talented in making sprites, they just look absolutely wonderful. Said, hey, aren't you and I going to the castle? This may not be much, but this is something we'd really like to offer you. Please use it well. And they hand over 5,000 gold, which is really great because we're going to need money to buy weapons and other things to help survive this game. So, like before, I'm going to run in with Wolt. Shoot him with the iron bow. And then I'm going to run in with Roy. And I'm going to attack. Oh, we got a crit. Okay, awesome. Cool. No, nobody has to take any extra damage. So, the crit rate is also based off of weapons and stats. It's a combination of the two. Ooh, we got strength. Strength is always good. I want to get a lot of strength. Because usually my Roy's always get strength screwed. and so it's really hard. It's rare for me to ever have a good Roy. So crits, there are some weapons that increase your crit, and then there are some items that negate crit. So crit is I forget how it works in the game. So I believe in this game, crit triples your damage after your damage calculation, which damage is calculated by your attack minus the target's defense. So if I were to attack him with Roy, I have 11 attack minus his 2 defense. I'm going to be doing 7 damage. And there is also a speed factor, which Roy has a speed of 7 and he has a speed of 4. To double someone, you have to have 4 points higher in speed to double them. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack once. So speed's also a really important offensive stat in this game. So sometimes speed's more important than strength in some cases, because weapons and their damage rates can carry units. But more often than not, speed is so important. Not stress that enough. If you have slow units, there are some cases where that's fine, but slow units, they will really hurt you. So Stellar Dodge Marcus, Stellar Dodge. Marcus is actually an extremely useful and powerful unit. So good. And Marcus just me soaking up some XP, dodging more attacks. It's perfectly fine, Marcus. Do you, my boy? Do you? So Marcus cleaning up, and another thing, which is why people tend to say, bench the J units as fast as possible, because you don't get quite as much XP from killing units. Since you are a promoted unit, you're going to get less XP than you would from killing a regular unit. So I'm going to move Roy up, and I'm going to use a vulnerary, and so I can get some health back. Vulneraries restore 10 health, but it does use up your turn for that player phase. So, it's always important, always try to plan your moves ahead. That way you don't get stuck in a spot you do not want to be in. And a solid dodge, and we're hitting. Roy, if Roy had gotten 1 speed on that first level up, he would be doubling every single one of these guys with the rapier. But unfortunately that wasn't the case, but it's fine. These guys are not scary. The speed point's not exactly needed right now. Get some free damage with Volt. We take those. And we're going to finish them off with the rapier. And we're going to be moving up Marcus. So I don't want to put them in. I don't want to put them in range of these guys. So I don't want to be stealing all this XP. Actually, in fact, I'm going to go around back here and pick up balls and then bring them over, because he's going to take years just to catch up. It is so slow. 4 movement is not a good look for them. And then I believe in this game, right next to archers, knights and generals are considered some of the worst units just to get some movement. It takes them forever to get to the battle. Usually 9 times out of 10, paladins and then like cavaliers are always going to be your best units no matter what. They're just absolutely wonderful because they can get around the map, they get where you need to go in, and they can always strike first, and they have such a well-balanced set. So, alright, we're finally get some balls. Oh god, I gotta do that. Alright, we're gonna give balls some XP. Another thing I should have talked about, I put balls in the forest. So, terrain, there are terrain effects in this game, and they can be really important. So, as you can see, there are different things about the map, and they all do stuff. I cannot place them on cliff, since nobody can stand on the cliff. You can't stand on the air, my dude. So, there are peaks, mountains, and forests, and there are some other tiles, like sea, and there's also a beach. And there's other tiles that we'll get to later on. But forest tiles, they give you one. They give you 1 defense and then 20 avoid, which is really useful, especially when you want to have some type of advantage against your foe. Which normally I would have a lower hit rate or just about the same hit rate as this guy, but thanks to my avoid, I actually have a higher hit rate than him thanks to the 20 avoid, and then also I'm taking 1 less damage thanks to the forest tile. Now, mountains are great because you get 1 defense, 30 avoid. Peaks are absolutely devastating because you get 2 defense, 40 avoid, and not a lot of units can actually stand on them. But that's a really important mechanic that you usually want to try to take into consideration when you are fighting your opponent. So this chapter is coming down to the end. Mopping these guys up pretty easy. It's not a scary chapter. It's a really good first chapter for new players to kind of get their bearing on how this game system works. And you know, also the programs have different AI aspects, which even if you pull that guy, he won't pull. These two AIs, I've learned that they are tied together. So if you pull this guy, the archer is going to be pulled as well. Kind of one of those double whammy things, but something you have to do. So I'm actually going to pull them over with Roy. Roy takes hit. He can survive both these hits. It's nothing really to be scared of. These guys aren't very scary at all. Though one thing I will say for sure is magic users in this game are absolutely devastating. For some reason in this game, nobody has a resistance stat. The resistance stat is basically what determines how much magic damage you take from a magic user. And literally no one has it except for maybe paladins in this game and bishops. Other than those people, you're going to get destroyed by magic users. They're dangerous. You're absolutely dangerous. They're like a girl you meet at the club, and she's like, you think she's 18, but really she's like 16, and it's just jailbait, dude. It's just jailbait. Don't set yourself up for jailbait. And another wonderful crit. Wow, I'm critting extra hard today. Crits can be good or bad. Kind of depends what you're going for. Sometimes crits mean less. Oh, God, Roy. At least I got resistance. Crits can be bad, and they can kind of steal XP from you. But crits can also be extremely amazing, or they can get you killed. It kind of depends on the situation you're in. So it's a little bit of give and take. Good job, Walt. And so each chapter has its own objective. You can go to data in this game. It's labeled different things in different games. So the goal of this one is to take the throne, and to get that we have to go do this guy. And so next turn we're going to send Marcus over there to take care of him. And so in the beginning of this game, for some reason they have a really bad thing about giving bosses one-range weapons, so you can absolutely lame him out and just sit here and poke at him with Walt. If you want to, it'd take forever, but you can, and you give Walt a lot of free experience, which is not bad at all. You damn idiots, can't you guys take on these dastards? But it's, yeah, you can see it's not going to be great for Walt. But so, instead of wasting some time, we're actually just going to kill him off with Marcus. And try to get this chapter moving. So again, swords beat axes. Marcus is in absolutely no trouble at all. And we're gonna end that. He's going to attack us and die. Because there's no way Marcus is gonna miss this. And usually the bosses in the chapter give a lot of experience regardless of whether you're promoted or unpromoted. So it's always good to give your promoted units the boss XP if you don't give them any XP at all during the chapter. And that's basically the end of the chapter. A really simple, easy chapter. Nice introduction, great map design, and it's a lot of fun. And so there is something else that I want to talk about as well. Use the speed up button just a little bit. There is this thing in this game called supports, where you can have these support conversations. So when certain units stand next to each other, they slowly build up this invisible counter, where eventually, after a set amount of turns, they will be able to talk, and they will have a support conversation, and from then on, when they stand next to each other, they will have bonus stat increases. They'll have either dodge or something else, which all depends on a specific little icon I'll show you after this conversation. Walt, Master Roy. Oh god, is something wrong? Just call me Roy. We grew up like brothers, you know. I appreciate your kindness, but rules are rules. Do you think so? You suddenly become a faraway person. What are you saying? I'm right here in front of you. That's not what I mean. Haha, I know, but I must not slack off in areas like this. ... Well then, let's go. We have a long ways to get, Master Roy. Support level increase. So now if we go check out their stats, you'll see Roy pop up in the weapons and support level. So Support conversations. They have levels A, B, C, and D. You can have a total of 5 support conversations. So each character can have a different combination of A and B, 2 B's and a C, 2 C's and an A, and then, but you only have, excuse me, support conversations with 3 different people. So, and then also these different symbols, they mean different things. This is the ice affinity. This is the fire affinity. Marcus has ice as well. What does Boris have? Boris has wind. What is this? It's anima. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, there we go. Anima affinity and fire affinity. Fire gives you bonus damage and something else I don't remember. Ice affinity gives you defense. And I can't remember if it's crit avoid or it's dodge. But it's at a defensive nature. Fire is offensive, which is really good to have. It gives you bonus damage. Always something nice to have. So, now the only person you can end the chapter with is Roy. So we gotta walk up to the castle and conquer it. Father, Lolina. Roy, is that you? Roy! Oh god. Father, Lolina. Thank goodness you're alright. Roy, thanks for coming this far. Of course, Father. How is your health? I'm fine. I'm still alive, see? But Roy, you do know why I called you back here. I am to take over your role of leading Frey's military and join the Lycia Alliance army. Yes! As you know, Byrne has started to conquer Lycia. We must follow the ancient rule and send out our military to protect the land of Lycia. Yes. I really didn't want to send you out because you were still studying, but I'm not well. I would only be a hindrance to everyone else. Father. Mr. Ellwood, I will accompany Roy. My father is in charge of Lycia's main army, and I could use my magic to be of some help to Roy. No, Lolini, you must return to Ostia. Why? With Hector's absence, no one is currently sitting on the throne of Ostia. The people must be feeling uptight as well. You, being the daughter of the Marcus, must take the throne until Hector returns, and ease the tension of the people. Am I wrong? No, sir. Roy, first you must go to the Byrne border and meet up with the mercy group that I have arranged a contract with. I'll send Merlinus along with you. He will be very helpful with his knowledge. Thank you for everything, Father. You'll be fine, you can do it. Go and fight and show them who you are, the next Marcus Foray. Yes! Balls! Balls. I have something to ask of you. I know, my lady. I will accompany Roy in his travels, and swear to protect him with my life. Thank you, Balls. Oh god, I feel that's what like a guy said. Like, whenever his junk is working perfectly fine. Roy, be careful. I know, you too, Lolina. And that is the end of chapter 1, and next chapter will be the Princess of Byrne. So yeah, that's gonna be all for this part. If anybody actually watches this, thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll stick around long enough for the next video. Alright, thanks, and see you next time, guys.